think so. I remember eating the food. I don't remember feeling hungry, so to speak, but I think we can assume.
You testified, Chief, that you had not slept since the Sunday night. Is it your evidence, Mr. van Breda, that the police intentionally deprived you of sleep?
No.
I presume you would agree that at that point in time there was a necessary for urgency on the side of the police service to get as much information available to follow up to catch the attackers on your family.
Correct.
So at that point in time, I also presume that you were quite willing to work with the police and to give them as much information as you knew.
Absolutely.
At some point in time during cross-examination, you answered to a question of the court that it is your view that the manner in which the police acted on that day, you do not regard that as irregular. Is that correct?
No, I said that I didn't at the time note it as being irregular.
Did I understand your evidence correctly, Mr. van Breda, that you signed the affidavit or the statement, exhibit SS before the court, although at that point in time you were of the view that there were certain aspects in the statement that was not correct?
Yes.
And the reason why you signed the statement was because you were told that as soon as you signed the statement, you can go home.
Correct.
What, Mr. van Breda, would be your comment on what the court should make of your evidence today in court and the preceding number of court dates, given that at this point in time it's not a question of going home, it's a question of you being facing very long jail term if you were convicted. What should the court make about your testimony in court today and the preceding days?
I don't think I really understand the question.
If you're willing to sign a statement, Mr. van Breda, according to you, which contain aspects which are incorrect,
Yes.
you signed that so that you could go home.
Yes.
Now you've testified over 4 days, facing a possible very long jail term.
Yes.
What would your comment be on the possibility of your credibility? Given that you're willing to sign a statement which you know to be incorrect according to you, just to go home.
Yeah, as I said, if I'd known that this statement was going to be used in court, I wouldn't have signed it.
Now the question to you is, you signed the statement despite it being wrong because you wanted to go home.
Yes.
So the implication of that is that you would, what the prosecutor says you would do whilst testifying.
Yes.
What do you say to that?
Well, I'll deny it.
Tony?
I deny it, first of all. And secondly, the circumstances set out in here, I mean, I don't think I was entirely thinking clearly. If I did not understand the situation I was in. If I had been given legal advice, I would have probably been more aware of what was actually going on. If I'd been given a day to rest, I may have been able to better.
What would you have said differently, Mr. van Breda? The essence of your version to the police on the 27th of January 2015 is quite similar to what you told the court today.
Yes.
Details.
Yes, I wouldn't have changed anything of what I said to the police. The difference is the final document that came out of those hours spent with Colonel Biernicke, etc., would have been an accurate document, not what we see in front of us here.
So what exactly in that document, so that SS before the court is inaccurate?
The wording.
The wording?
Yes, I think we've gone through numerous examples now where what you've put to me as being in my statement has not been the version that I actually gave to the police as it's represented here.
So if you say the wording is good, do you mean that by that there is something in that statement that is blatantly untrue?
Yes.
What exactly is that?
The passage you referred me to earlier saying that I went back inside and then had cigarettes, that's blatantly untrue because I first had cigarettes when I first started dialing the emergency number. So that's pretty much as far as my blatantly untrue goes. I'm not suggesting that the police put words in my mouth. I'm not suggesting that they made up lies. I'm merely saying that this is not the words that I used, and to hold me accountable to the exact wording in this statement is unfair.
Even with regards to the one example that you now pointed out, you told the court that at the time when you relayed the sequence of events regarding smoking, as far as you were concerned, both you and the officer who took down the statement were in agreement with what you were saying. Somehow, somehow the words then ended up different from the statement.
Yes. If the way the officer said to me, okay, well, wait a minute, I thought you said you had cigarettes, when did you have the cigarettes? And then adding it in then when I said I had the cigarettes by the kitchen counter. If, for example, my attorney was there, she would have made sure that that be reworded in accordance with what I was actually saying.
So is your complaint the wording or the content of the statement?
Well, the wording, and as a result of the wording, you've come with all the examples that you've put to me from my statement. The wording is wrong, and from that you can draw conclusions that are unfair to me.
So what is right in the statement? What is correct in the statement? Galloway, would you take him through the statement? Would you take him through the statement?
Mr. van Breda, if you have regard to your statement, and then so that you can finally now assist the court in deciding what in your statement is correct and what is not correct. If you start with paragraph 2, can I read it to you? And then you, after reading of that paragraph, you tell the court what is incorrect.
Sure.
On Monday,
What is correct now or is incorrect? Yeah.
On Monday 2015, January 26th, at about 18:30, myself and my father had some drinks in the living room of our above-mentioned house. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
My father's name is Martin.
That's correct.
We drank red wine, but I cannot tell what kind of wine it was because my father was opening the red wine.
Correct.
I drank 2 glasses of red wine and 1 whiskey.
Incorrect. With the whiskey.
Sorry?
The whiskey.
What is wrong with the whiskey?
So I don't actually recall having that. It was something put to me by the officers, and I said I can't deny that.
So it's not a lie, it's just something that you not clearly remember. So the fact that you had a whiskey is not a lie or something they made up, it's just something that you cannot clearly remember whether you did or did not have a whiskey.
Well, yeah, but me not remembering whether I had a whiskey shouldn't be represented as it is here, which is saying my father drank 2 glasses of red wine. And I had 2 glasses of red wine and 1 whiskey. So where I'm unsure, it seems unfair for the police to have then written down that I had a whiskey.
Well, you were in agreement that you could have had a whiskey.
Yes, and although I'd made it very clear to them that I cannot be sure about this.
My father drank 2 glasses of red wine and that was all.
That's accurate?
My brother by the name of Rudy was outside, went for a run, and my sister and my mother was also in the house.
Also correct.
Paragraph 3, on Monday, 2015-01-26 at about 19:15, all of us were sitting in the dining room and ate our dinner. We finished dinner at about 8 o'clock.
The times we can't be sure of.
What about the times aren't you sure of, Mr. van Breda? Because if I remember your evidence in court correctly, you also said that round about 7:30 you had dinner at the table. Usually takes about half an hour, which will bring you to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's represented as being a little bit more accurate than I can actually remember it.
Okay. The word of...
If it's about 7:15, no, that's fine actually. Sorry.
The about here.
Yes.
Myself, my brother, my father, and my sister, they went to watch television, and I was not sure where my mother was at that time. Forget the grammar, the spelling, the idea that is conveyed by that sentence, Mr. van Breda. Is that correct or not?
Excepting for Marli watching TV with us, yes.
While I was watching television, I drank 1 Coke and rum alone.
Also not true.
Is it not true in the sense it didn't happen? Or it's one of the instances where it might have happened but you're not sure?
Not true in the sense that it didn't happen because I would have remembered. And
It's not the same.
but when I was suggested this by Karubinaka, his demeanor, it was rather, oh sure, but you would have had a Coke, right? They kept pushing me about it. And eventually I just agreed.
Although you knew that was wrong.
Yes.
Marli then went to bed at about 9 o'clock, 2100.
Yeah, that's, again, I didn't give these specific times, so that was her, it was a school night, so that was her bedtime.
My father then went to bed at about 2100. Myself and Rudy then went to bed 11 o'clock, 2300. Is that correct?
No, because, again, that was based on a normal evening, not specifically on that evening.
Although you were asked specifically what happened that evening.
Yes, and I specifically said I don't know. Specifically.
But in court now you are sure about what happened that evening.
Yes.
Paragraph 4. Myself and my brother Rudy was sleeping in one room on the first floor. Correct?
Correct.
My sister Marli is sleeping also in her room alone and also on the first floor.
Correct.
My parents Teresa and Martin was also sleeping in their room on the first floor.
Correct.
My brother was then asleep and I was still on my laptop in my room watching a television series called One Piece, and it was on the internet till 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I started to listen to music on my cell phone to get asleep.
Again, yeah, the gist there being correct except for the specific of 3 o'clock.
What is wrong with the specific of 3 o'clock?
They asked me what time I thought it was, and I said it was probably around 3. But I had no knowledge of that whatsoever, no surety.
So it's not a time that they plucked out of the air somewhere, you gave it to them as a possible time that you could have gone to sleep or switched off the laptop.
Yes, again, if I thought that the answer, I'm not sure, was one that, if they accepted the answer, I'm not sure, then that's what it would have said, but they didn't. They kept saying what time.
I then took out my earphones and put my phone on my bedside table, then decided to go to the toilet and took my phone with me in my pocket.
I don't specifically recall putting my phone on my bedside table and then picking it up again, but I don't disagree with this.
So what's your answer?
I don't disagree with that.
You disagree with that?
I don't.
I don't
disagree
disagree.
with that sentence.
I then went to the toilet and closed the toilet door after me while I was still inside the toilet.
Yeah. Apart from the fact that I didn't actually fully close the door. Correct.
Paragraph 5. While I was inside the toilet, I heard a noise from outside and can also hear that the noise was coming from my room, where my brother was also sleeping because the noise was close.
Yeah, not my words. No, I'd say the truth in that is just that I heard a noise from outside the bathroom. The way it says here from outside makes it seem like it's outside the house, but it's the wrong representation.
The rest is correct.
Yes.
I opened the toilet door slightly and saw in the dark that someone was eating Rudy.
True.
I then stand there afraid to go out of the toilet.
Not true.
What is not true about that thing?
I didn't use those words. I didn't use those words. We've been through this exact sentence in court.
We're going through it again, Mr.
Yes.
What is wrong about that, except for not using your exact words? What is wrong with the event that is described here?
That I never said to the police specifically that I was scared to leave the bathroom. I never used those words.
That is your testimony in court now, that you were scared during the incident.
Yes, but not scared to leave the bathroom. Those are not my words.
I then started to shout for help.
True.
My father then arrived in the room and turned on the lights. And I then saw that this person had an axe in his hand, and that was the item that he was hitting Rudy with on the head.
If we ignore the thens and the etc., that's also correct.
My father Martin then saw the whole thing happening, and my father then jumped on the person, and then the person started to assault the father with the axe.
Yeah, again, not my words. I never said he jumped on the person. I said he jumped onto the bed and was going at the person.
It doesn't say that.
I didn't say he jumped on the person. No, never said that.
But he jumped.
Well, again, where I'm agreeing now, it's not. It's never really my exact words. I'm just agreeing to the content of the sentence. Yes.
The content of the words. That's what
Yes.
I want to know whether it is correct or not. Rudy was just lying on the bed while this person was hitting my father with the axe.
Rudy was on the bed at the time.
Whilst your father was being hit with the axe.
Yes.
I was still standing in the bedroom with the lights on, looking at what is happening in front of me.
True.
My father then collapsed in my room where this person was attacking me.
True.
Paragraph 6. After the person was assaulting my father, I heard my mother Teresa's voice, and I can hear that she was in the passage, and this person went out of the room to the passage where my mother was standing.
Yeah. Again, this is I only heard the voice and I was presumed the rest of it. So this is not my words.
Do you confirm, sir, that you heard your mother outside? And the person went outside to where your mother's voice was coming from?
Yes, confirm that.
But you say the way it's worded in that sentence, that's not your words?
Correct.
I then can hear that this person was busy assaulting my mother in the passage.
Again, I'm not sure if I perhaps did remember that at the time and don't remember it now. So I'm not entirely sure about that one.
So, do I understand you correctly, Mr. van Breda, it's not as if the police made that up, added into the statement. You might have told it to them at the time.
Yes, yes, because it did.
I then went out of the toilet and still in the bedroom walked towards the front door, but not went out of the bedroom.
Yeah, I'm not sure where or why it says that I went out of the toilet at that point, but the rest of it's true. I can't remember walking towards the front door, but I certainly couldn't see the passage.
That is the next sentence.
Sorry, yes, the next sentence.
Yeah,
I
because
agree.
I see the passage which is always from there, from here.
Yes, I agree.
Paragraph 7. While I was in the room, I noticed that the same person came inside my room again, and then he looks at me, and he laughed at me, and then he started to attack me with an axe he was holding in his right hand.
Yes.
We then started to fight with each other in the room, and then I managed to take the axe from him.
Yes.
I then stepped a little back, and then I saw the person pull out a knife and then attack me again, and then grab his right arm with my left hand and then pull him to the side of my body. And then I felt that he stabbed me in the left side of the body at my ribs. And then I hit the person with the blunt side of the axe at the back of his body, at his right shoulder, and then he left me, and I took up the knife out of my body that was still stuck inside my body where this person was stabbing me, and then this person started to run. It's a very long sentence.
Yes.
We should break it down.
Sure. I then step a little back. I didn't take a step back, but created space between us. I didn't see them pull out a knife, but they then had a knife. Again, just the phrase, pulled out a knife. And grab his right arm with my left hand, then pull him to the side of my body. See, those not my words either. This, again, I'd given a much more detailed explanation of this encounter to the police, but the representation here is completely inaccurate. Inaccurate compared to what I told them in terms of how it sets out the timeline.
So the movements, I understand you go through the movements are correct, but the setup of the timeline is incorrect.
Yeah, and sort of them saying that I pulled him to the side of my body, that I didn't use the phrase pull him to the side of my body, as it's sort of described, as I guess it would have been better to do a demonstration with Milan. But I didn't have that opportunity, and so instead I gave them an overview of what happened in the fight, and so this is the relevant information that they reported on from that.
In essence, Mr. van Breda, is there anything blatantly wrong or not what is part of your version in this paragraph at the top of page 2 of the essays?
No, not blatantly wrong. I think we've dealt with discrepancies.
Paragraph 8. I then went to the room door while this person was running down the stairs, and then I I throw the axe at him, but I miss him.
Sorry?
But it doesn't say what the discrepancies are.
Yeah, correct.
Correct. I do not know whose axe it was because I did not know that we had an axe in the house.
Yeah, I was asked by Conor where I think the axe came from, so I don't know. Also, I was also inferring that I missed them. They asked me if I actually hit the person when I threw it at them, and I said I don't think so.
After I threw the axe at this person, I then started to run after him. And while I was busy running down the stairs, I tripped and fell. And when I stand up, I noticed the person was gone.
Yes, again, I see, as we now know, I distinctly remember throwing the axe. I don't remember where the axe landed. I remember having fallen down the stairs. I don't remember exactly how. I now realized that the two happened at the same time. So this wording here of after I throw the axe at this person, I then started to run after him, and while I was busy running down the stairs, I tripped and fell. That's false. That timeline. It happened simultaneously.
The events are correct, it's just the timeline that's incorrect.
Correct.
I then assumed that this person was out the back door because we always left the back door open every night for domestic workers to come inside the house.
Yeah, so again, that's not why I assumed that they'd left out the back door. The police officers asked me about the back door, and I said, yes, we do actually leave it unlocked. I didn't explain it in this way.
You did not explain it in this way.
I didn't say that I assumed that the person had left out the back door because we left the back door opened. I saw the back door was wide open.
I then went to the back door and discovered that the back door was standing open, and then went outside but saw no one.
Sure.
I then went back inside the house because I was afraid to follow him because I did not know what he had on him.
Again, not representative of exactly what I thought at that moment, but instead an answer to a question that the officers put to me at this point in my statement.
So what question did they put?
Why didn't you follow the attackers? I said that I was unsure as to what to do, and they said, why were you unsure? And I said, well, I don't know what other weapons they might have with them. But this then was something
Is it correct?
Sorry?
Is it correct as is written there?
No, not exactly, because that's not why I didn't follow them. This was just the answer that I gave to the police afterwards.
But you also testified that that was one of the speculations that you offered to the officers when they asked you.
I suppose so, yes. Again, I'm not saying they outright made these things up, but certainly pushed me to sound more sure of things than I was.
When I came back in the house, moving on to paragraph 9, when I came back in the house, I noticed that my father's study room lights was on, and the bedroom of my parents was also on.
Yeah, I don't recall the bedroom lights of my parents being on at all at the moment, but yeah. At the moment, I can't recall the bedroom lights being on.
But you might have told him this at the time?
Possible.
What did you say?
Possibly, yes.
Possible.
I then tried to call my girlfriend Bianca, but the phone just went on voicemail. And then I started to Google for an emergency number, and I walked up the stairs. And as I was still on the internet looking for the number, I saw my mother and my sister lying in the passageway. And at that time, I was still on the stairs and then fainted on the stairs.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Just for interest sake, there is no mention here of the fact that you considered the emergency numbers on the fridge.
That was after I woke up.
After you woke up. Paragraph 10. I then woke up and then still saw my sister and my mother in the passageway lying on the ground. And I can see that my mother was not moving and my sister was still moving and she also was breathing.
Yes.
I then got hold of the emergency number and then called the ambulance. But I waited for 20 minutes on the phone in the kitchen.
And roughly true.
Sorry? What did you answer?
Roughly true?
Roughly true.
Yes, we spoke about me leaving stuff, so
Sorry?
we've spoken about me leaving the house and stuff, so there's little things that are slightly inaccurate, but that is the gist of what happened, yes.
I then called Bianca again at about 07:30, and then later again, but it went again on voicemail, and I then WhatsApped her, and then I got through to the emergency people, and then they told me that they are going to call the police.
Again, the timeline with the thens is a bit different, but the gist of what happened, correct?
I then opened the front door, went outside for a bit, and then I went inside again, sat in the kitchen with some cigarettes while I waited for the emergency people. And then they arrived, and then I told them what happened, and then treated my family in the house.
Yeah, other than the bit with the cigarettes that we've discussed. True.
I did not touch anybody of my family in the house the time the person assaulted my family with the axe.
True.
Paragraph 11. This person who attacked my family was a well-built person, and he was strong, 1.86 meters tall, and he had a dark jeans, black jumbo jersey, black gloves, homemade dark grey mask on.
Yeah, so this is probably the one thing where it's a bit more malicious, perhaps, that the police didn't include it. But the fact that they didn't mention the second attacker in my statement.
I didn't hear you there.
The fact that they didn't mention the second attacker in the statement.
All right, good afternoon. You're currently watching live visuals from the Western Cape High Court there. Of course, Henri van Breda is standing trial. In fact, it is cross-examination there where he is accused of killing both his parents and brother and the attempted murder of his sister Marli.
I told him that there was a second attacker in the house, and that well, I've told him what I've told the court, which is what I know, is that I heard the voices, and that I presume that there was a second person in the house.
Did we know why they left it out?
No, I don't know why, but it's. I would be speculating.
Now, when you read the statement again, that has been an important factor. Why did you not bring it to their attention?
Sorry?
When you read the statement again to sign it, did you not, or why did you not bring it to the attention of the policeman?
Well, at the time I didn't really notice, because this is the information that we'd sort of decided upon, the 1.86 meters. I was happy with that, even though I can't now say it's that accurate. That wasn't untrue. The guy was a little bit taller than me. Dark jeans, black jumper jersey.
No, I'm talking of the second attack.
Yes. So all this stuff, as I said, made sense. I wasn't able to give them very much information on the second attacker.
Yeah, but if, it's just shortly after the incident, and the police now have to track down the offenders. And it's important that they know there are 1 or 2 or 3 offenders so that they can pursue them.
Yes, absolutely. I actually, it surprises me to see that it's not here later on, because I explicitly mentioned this to Colonel Bianca, and I think we can see from his notes, I did tell him this. But I didn't notice the omission when I was signing.
That they be neglecting their duty if they did not note that there was a second person to pursue?
Well, yes, but it not being here, in the statement, I didn't think that meant that they were going to ignore that. I had spoken at length to Colonel Bienica in his office. He knows that there was 2 attackers. So I didn't think it was neglecting duty because I had told them about this, and they did seem like they were trying to find these 2 people.
So on what you told the police that afternoon, they should have been on the lookout for 2 people.
Yes.
But that doesn't appear of your statement for some other reason.
Correct.
Mr. van Breda, did I hear you correctly that when you read through the statement, you didn't pick up on the omission of there being a second attack?
Yeah, I think at that point we'd already been going through it so many times that I was sort of confused by what information I'd already given them and what they were writing down. So that's why I'm saying I'm surprised that it's not in here, because the way I sort of recall it is I, from memory, think that it was in my statement. So I just didn't notice the omission.
The next sentence after your description of the attacker, Mr. van Breda, I only saw his eyes the time he was in the house.
Again, not strictly true, but
It will be difficult for me to identify the person if I see the person's whole face, but will recognize his eyes and voice.
yes, that I've explained how we got to that.
Paragraph 12, I sustained some bruises on my body. I also stabbed wound at the left side of the body at my ribs.
Correct. As I said, I wasn't really aware of the bump on my head.
I had no major arguments with my parents.
Very true.
I had no arguments with my brother or my sister before.
I can't categorically say that I've had no arguments, but no serious arguments and no recent arguments.
Mr. van Breda, after having now gone through your statement again, considering or comparing that with your key explanation of evidence in court, it appears that some of the supplements or explanations that you give for the differences between what is contained in the statement and what your evidence is before court, either in your key explanation or your evidence as a witness in this matter, is in an attempt to explain certain information that is contained in the police document. Pointed those out to you during the course of the cross-examination.
No, that's not the purpose of.
And when you could not give an alternative explanation, that is when your evidence becomes, your memory becomes vague, or you tell the court, I cannot recall those events happening.
No, I deny that.
And the totality of that is that it causes several instances of what can be described as selective memory loss.
Okay. Well, I disagree if she's suggesting that I'm being selective. I'm not disagreeing with the fact that I don't have a complete memory of what happened.
Since the van Breda, it's not as if there are certain gaps in your memory with regard to certain periods during the incident which you can describe as shock or emotional trauma. It is the details of certain events that you cannot remember.
Well, yeah, that's how else are we supposed to know what I don't remember other than me trying to remember and not being able to?
But then in certain events, for example,
Yes, I remember the majority of that fight.
And I put it to you, Mr. van Breda, your incidences of selective memory loss are more often than not exactly on the incriminating evidence in the state's case.
Okay.
That's the only comment you want to make. Okay.
Could you repeat the question, sir?
Sorry?
Could you just put the question to me again?
I said, the instances of your selective memory loss more often than not only applies to the incriminating parts of the state's case against you.
Well, no, I think that's wrong. I think it's just where the information is relevant.
And because if you have regard to the blood spatter evidence, Mr. van Breda, and the state of the scene after the incident, as well as the tool mark analysis of the scene, it does not support your version of the events.
Galloway, I didn't hear you there.
So, yeah.
Sorry, Lord, the blood spatter evidence, the state of the scene after the incident, and the tool mark analysis of the scene does not support your version.
Okay.
There is no forensic evidence on
Thank you, Bob. We're talking about evidence, blood spatter evidence that's contained in two reports, almost comprising 90 pages reports alone, with annexes to lever answers. We're talking about other substantive reports. Which parts? And again, I would submit with great respect to my lord, but this is argument, not something put to the witness.
I thought in all fairness that Mr. Breda would like to try and comment, but I believe that's argument.
Can I just comment quickly on the...
Mr. van Breda wants to comment. Let's hear you.
Sorry, no, on the previous point we were making about the selective memory loss, or something you suggested earlier that I was being vague about when I got the bump on my head, in order so that I could say that it could have happened on the way down the stairs and the way back. But that doesn't help me. If I were to say that I sustained the injury in my head after losing consciousness, that would be in line with Dr. Dutrogo's evidence. So I'm not taking opportunities to be vague where I see it as being to my advantage.
Mr. van Breda, it's just that you have had ample time to consider the state's case against you. And ample time to think about explanations for things that you consider incriminating, and where you could not come up with a reasonable alternative. That's when you say, I cannot remember, I cannot specifically recall.
No, I say I can't recall when I can't recall.
Thank you, Lord. I have no further questions.
The examination?
No, yes, would you inclined to grant me this opportunity tomorrow morning to do the examination if you want? But I just need time, it's been 5 days with evidence.
Okay. Court's adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Council's in changes.